to the Kobe Bryant Film Room, and this is another edition of Hellified Cap, right? So I had an idea, right? I was watching AOH's live stream, and AOH gave me this idea to kind of go back through this footage because I remembered the media saying something, that they contradicted themselves on. And basically, what I'm talking about is, right? So, AOH on his channel, salute, subscribe to him and Sports and Fitness Rants and all those guys who come up and show up on this panel. So, he was talking about how Brian Windhorst was on Get Up, capping, right? Brian Windhorst was capping, saying that the Lakers aren't deep enough, right? Their size, their depth, they don't have size or depth, right? So I am the film guy, right? I am the Kobe Bryant film room, and I am the media's worst nightmare when they cap, right? And so I decided to do this video mainly because these people are bad people, bro. And I want to show you the before and after, right? Up to this moment, right? So just in case somebody tries to use this video in the future or whatever, the Timberwolves are up 3-1 on the Los Angeles Lakers as of today, right? And the Lakers have their backs against the wall. They have lost home court advantage, right? But I want to play this video for you because I think what the media is doing is evil, and I think it's flat out ridiculous, right? It's straight bullshit. A lot of fans are falling for this, but the media has now switched the narrative because they do this in order to protect LeBron, right? So now the narrative has completely flipped, right? Completely flipped. So without further ado, I want you to get you guys into this footage. And this first clip that I'm going to play is Marcus Morris saying that Anthony Marshawn Davis was in LeBron Ramon James's way. Let's play this clip.
Davis was in LeBron's way, you know what I mean? Because LeBron's really a four now, and that's the position that Anthony Davis wanted to play. He was always on the box. He wasn't really stretching the three that well. Now you add another guard, not even just another guard. Let's just make that clear. You add top 5 guard in the NBA.
Top 5 player.
Yeah. That can get it from anywhere, and he's a matchup nightmare. When 77 walk in the building, OKC, Minnesota, Phoenix, Clippers, they dread seeing him. And now he got 2-3 on his back, right with him.
Okay, so let's pause that and go over what Marcus said, right? So he didn't mention defense at any point of this conversation that he was just having in this clip, right? Just this clip. I don't know what else he said on the pod, right? But just this clip, he did not mention defense at all. They weren't concerned about defense. They were worried about the offensive end so LeBron could go play the 4 and the offense could be spaced out. That's what these niggas wanted, right? I'm going to prove to you that these dudes are some capping ass niggas and some bad people. Not Marcus, because Marcus is not on the team. He's just making an assessment. He don't got nothing to do with it, right? But I'm going to show you that the media is evil and they're only designed to protect LeBron James and the NBA product as a whole. They're masters at painting a narrative for you. So let's keep this going, man. Let's get into it.
Interesting take there. SA, do you agree that AD was actually in LeBron's way?
Believe it or not, I do. And I think that was an excellent analysis on the part of Marcus Morris. And by the way, just as an aside, I give props to Marcus and Markeith. They've been in the league for a long time. They've been on a lot of different teams. They're always a plus. They're never a minus. And they bring a lot to the game of basketball. And I think once they both retire, you're going to see both of them doing some television work. I really, really believe that. Having said all of that, I want to go back to Luka Doncic, Eminem, Jay, from the perspective of J.J. Redick. This is a quote 2 weeks before the Luka Doncic trade.
So this is J.J. Redick 2 weeks before the Luka Doncic trade, right? So it's hard for me to believe, somebody who listens very closely and looks at key signs, that this play wasn't designed to help LeBron James, right? To me, this trade, the whole reason for the trade was designed to put LeBron James in a position to win, to give him a new look, right? Because they tried the Anthony Davis experiment, and LeBron James and Anthony Davis weren't getting the job done, and they were underachieving. Really LeBron James, because they tried everything, right? They tried Russell Westbrook. They tried different variations of the starting lineup. The D-Lo stuff didn't work out, and nothing could save him because this is for his legacy, right? The media, all they do is cover the Lakers. And I'm a Lakers fan. Listen, I want the Lakers to win, but I care about the integrity of basketball, right? What I care about is honesty, integrity in the media. I do not want my kids being lied to, right? And that's why I'm doing this, because the lies have to end at some point. It's only so much you can cap for, bro. Like, they cap every day. They lie. They switch the narratives, and they have these kids lost, bro. These kids are now outside. Well, not really kids. Grown men are outside playing with Barbies, bro. This is how bad this shit has gotten. So I'm here to kind of neutralize that and to stop that. But listen to who he puts this on, right? He said this is what JJ did. Check this out.
JJ Redick says, we don't have a guy on our team that's going to necessarily always draw two to the ball. This is what he said on January 19th after a 116-102 loss to the Los Angeles Clippers. He says, we don't have a guy on our team that's going to be able to get past his guy one-on-one and get to the paint and spread it out to the perimeter. Like, that's just not our team. Now, if you remember when LeBron and JJ Redick were doing their podcast together, okay? And if you remember the aftermath of that, when JJ Redick talked about what the Lakers needed and what the geometry of the LA offense should be, what they were talking about, JJ's aspiration was to be a high three-point volume shooting team. That's what he wanted. The Lakers were averaging 33.8 three-point attempts per game, which ranked 27th in the league before Luka arrived. They now average 41.7, and it's 6th in the league.
And I want you guys to remember, they brought Dorian Finney-Smith, a former teammate of Luka Doncic, in before they made the trade, right? So I'm not saying this is suspicious. I'm saying this shit's suspicious. So you got all these moves, right, in order to make them a three-point shooting team to spread out the offense. And who does this benefit? This benefits LeBron James. Why? Because LeBron James gets to sit on the perimeter. All the attention can go to Luka, and he can pick his spots, right? So the game can be easier on LeBron James. This is all about the media making the game easier for him. Now, check this out. Let's continue.
And so this style of play, yeah, Rob Pelinka might have got that call. But I assure you, when he went to JJ Redick said, do everything you can to get that damn deal done. Because Luka Doncic coming to our team, being able to draw attention from defenses is going to free up others to shoot threes. And one of those people are going to include LeBron James, who's essentially your wideout because he gets to operate more in open space. He gets to...
Ding, 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 ding. LeBron gets to operate in open space, meaning LeBron gets to take advantage of mismatches, right? He gets to get the lesser of the matchups. So the stars, right, and all the attention is on Luka Doncic, right? So LeBron gets to just chill, get his points, low expectations. You got Luka to carry everything, and you get the credit at the end of the day. He's going to carry you across the finish line.
Play bully ball when he wants to because he's 6'9", 260, or he gets to step outside because he's improved his three-point shot. And oh, by the way, he's having more uncontested three-point shots than he ever has had in a Lakers uniform. This is what Luka has brought to the team. This is the aspiration JJ Redick had, and that's what I think makes Marcus Morris very, very accurate with what and astute with what he was saying.
So he was accurate in what he was saying, but AD won them a championship. And guys, I want to add this in. The Lakers said that they wanted to build around AD, right? When have the Lakers built around AD? Because the moves that they make all were for LeBron James. They weren't for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has been begging to have another center with him, and they wouldn't do it for him. And when he was crying about it, essentially, they traded him. So all this bullshit about, yeah, this is Anthony Davis' team. Yeah, no, they said it was Anthony Davis' team. He never got the team. And as you can see, instead of JJ figuring out how to make Anthony Davis successful, he's trying to figure out how to make LeBron James successful in an offense that benefits LeBron James. This is all bullshit. This is all smoke and mirrors. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they're not being real about it. They're trying to portray it as if Anthony Davis, was in LeBron's way, but actually Anthony Davis is the reason why LeBron won the championship. And the reason why people thought LeBron had a chance to win a championship. Before Anthony Davis went to LA, LeBron wasn't winning a damn thing. He was on the team with all those young guys, but Clutch Sports had it in their back pocket to trade all those young guys to bring in Anthony Davis. They even fired the Pelicans GM in order to make it happen for that situation to take place in LA. So when you look at these guys now they're trying to tell you, no, AD was the problem, right? So let's continue.
Because it just happens to be true. It's proven to be true.
The only issue I have with this is I'm mincing words because you're right. Plenty of respect earned. I appreciate the basketball explanation of this, but I'm also like, they won a title together. Like the
That don't mean shit, do it. Let that be a lesson to all of you superstars who think you're gonna go play with LeBron James and win. Yeah, you're gonna win, but you're gonna be Scottie Pippen. You're gonna be the guy carrying the water. You know what I'm saying? The Gatorade coolers and all that, throwing LeBron the towel. Because at the end of the day, you're never going to get your just due. Just a couple of days ago, Matter of fact, like a week ago, week and a half ago, or something like that. Rich Paul came out and pretty much diminished Chris Bosh for sacrificing his game in order to benefit LeBron. Remember, LeBron was on his podcast and he said the whole point of, after 2011 when they lost, the whole point of Chris Bosh moving to the center was to space out the floor so that he could operate. The same thing with Kevin Love when they got Kevin Love, a superstar who they diminished and say he's a nobody now because his numbers went down. Why? Because he's no longer at the rim. He's had to space the floor so LeBron James can do his ISO thing and operate and get into the teeth of the defense without being double teamed, right? So when you look at all this, you're like, God dang, how many superstars have to make sacrifices for their game in order to be shitted on so this dude can succeed? And now AD, being a superstar talent that he is, he's discounted, right? But let's continue, right? Notice nobody gets credit, though, real quick. Notice nobody gets credit before I continue. Darvin Ham doesn't get credit. He gets shipped out. AD doesn't get credit. He gets shipped out.
Fit.
5 years ago.
I get it. I get it. I totally get it. It was a minute ago, but I just feel like AD's getting slighted in this conversation in a way that I don't know that I love. Look, the fit is better with Luka Doncic. I'll give you that. LeBron James in the 4th position is fantastic. It's great. We love it. Luka's talents are exactly what this team needs, but it's 29 other teams in the league.
So let me chime in real quick. So the LeBron at the 4th position, they like it, right? So when he's matched up with Randall, Nas Reed, and all them bangers, like all them dudes who are big, who got size, who are gonna bang with him, now they're complaining about how, oh, look what he has to do, right? You're playing the 4. Like they want to complain because he's getting switched on the big man and he has to rebound, he has to do all this stuff. But you asked for that. That the Lakers and JJ Redick wanted that.
Probably would say the same thing. Maybe take out 2, right? Luka Doncic is that type of talent. He's going to open it up for whoever he plays alongside. So I get this and the full explanation of the 4 position. I get it. I think it's a astute observation.
Was that?
But Luka is Luka. Like this is more about.
Can we keep it a buck? I mean, was that Markieff or Marcus?
Marcus. That was
so
Marcus.
Marcus, like, kudos to Marcus. Marcus learned how to play the media game. You say.
Ding, 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 ding. Marcus knows how to play the media game, right? And what's the media game? Cap, lie, sensationalize things, exaggerate things, right?
Things like that. It tracks. But like in his way, he's not like
that's why
AD's wasn't in LeBron's way. Now Luka and Bron mesh differently and better, and that's seen in their plus minus.
Right. That's where I'm at.
And it's the same thing. Yes. Like the plus minus is better with Luka and Bron than it is with Bron and AD. But I don't think AD was in his way. I think LeBron is a versatility Swiss Army knife that understands he can play around people differently. The floor might open up due to the style of play that he has with Luka.
So historically, I ran it down. LeBron needs big men who can space the floor, right? So was AD in LeBron's way? No, it's just the way LeBron plays the game of basketball. But LeBron wanted AD because how talented AD was. You know what I mean? AD was on that tier of talent, like as far as like a Giannis or somebody like that. Like Giannis, Joel Embiid, that type of player. That's AD's talent level. He's probably the most talented player or big in the NBA, right? As far from offense, defense, AD brings a lot to the table. Now he has some injury issues and things like that. You know, we all understand AD's injury woes. But in the way is like the dude was fucking up, right? And he wasn't able to carry his own weight, right? And AD, he carried his own weight. Matter of fact, he was an MVP candidate when the season started, right? So to sit back and say he's in LeBron's way, a guy who was not, performing at a high level during that time is ridiculous. But you see what happened when they got Luka. They didn't mention nothing about how bad of a defender Luka was and all this shit. They just talk about offensively. But now they're crying about the defensive end of the court. And we're going to get to that.
Having a 5, but I don't think it was in Bron's way.
I'm not letting you get away with
Come on
this.
Come on
Stop it now.
You
Stop
are
it
the
now.
genius at this right now.
Stop, J. Will. I'm not going to let you do this. LeBron Ramon James.
No. Yes, I am, but that's not what's going on here. That's not what's going on here. Listen to this. Damn
it. Don't you do this to me, J. Will.
Williams. Where'd you play college ball at?
Duke University.
How well do you know JJ Redick?
Extremely well.
Now, you trying to tell me, I'm talking about him now, in terms of what he would prefer because of what his vision for basketball would be. We know more open space. We know attracting more defenders to have more open shooters to kick it to. Because if you're doubling on Luka and you're prioritizing him and LeBron, you got an Austin Reeves that's looking like the best third option in basketball, at least at this particular moment in time.
Okay, so Austin Reeves looking like the best third option in basketball. Matter of fact, they were trying to call them a big three because of how well Austin Reeves was playing. And I remember there was a stretch where Austin Reeves was averaging like 27 points per game during that stretch, right? So keep that in mind.
Seeing guys going on a court, hitting threes all over the damn place. You didn't see that before. What I'm saying to you is this. If J.J. Redick wanted that, and philosophically, he was believing that was his vision, didn't I bring up that podcast that they had last year? They ain't talk about this? They ain't talk about what they would ultimately want?
He's letting you know. He's letting you know. They were planting seeds. It was all in the makings. It was all in the works.
I'm just asking. From a basketball perspective. I'm not talking about personnel. I'm talking about schematically. If you got Anthony Davis in the post is going to attract attention. But y'all saw Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis inside, outside, can give you 28 and 12 a night. The brother's all world, but in the same breath, he wasn't attracting the kind of attention on ball the way somebody like Luka would
That is
attract.
accurate.
Okay,
Well,
we got 90 seconds.
That is accurate.
Yeah. 28 and 12 is not enough, right? 28, you need more now, right? But notice how they're only talking about what LeBron needs. Not once are they sitting here talking about what AD needs. And he was supposed to be the future. He was the younger of the two players. LeBron is supposed to be on his way out. But like I said, and I told people, LeBron coming to LA was a legacy move. LeBron coming to LA, he was supposed to win multiple championships so he could be the greatest Laker of all time or even in that conversation. But see, the problem is that LeBron and AD have fell short of their expectations year in and year out and been getting embarrassed or showed up by Nikola Jokic, right? Because every couple of years, somebody comes out of nowhere, right? Somebody raises their game. So they just ran into a hot Nuggets team, and that Nuggets team with Jamal Murray averaging 30 did his thing. So when you look at that, AD, LeBron, they were supposed to accomplish more. But AD never really had the team built around him. And that is one of the most important things people got to realize. Like, people really got to take their time to think about this. Like, they never put the team around AD. They never built it around him. You know what I'm saying? But he's the one who's going to receive the harshest criticism. Like, he's not holding his weight. And sometimes he did it. Sometimes he deserved the criticism. But AD did not deserve this on the way out, right? So this is why ESPN kept talking about LeBron statue. Are we going to build him a statue? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? Why are you so concerned with LeBron getting a statue? He's only won one championship, right? I can't remember a player getting statue conversations after one championship for any organization, right? And they always like to compare Elgin Baylor and all that stuff. Elgin Baylor helped establish our franchise. He's one of the pioneers of our franchise, right? He's our first real, like, him, George Mike, and those dudes are our first superstars. You know what I'm saying? They are our saviors in Lakerland. They saved the team. That's why them dudes can have a statue after winning one or not winning or whatever. And then Wilt Chamberlain, they like to say, well, Wilt has won. Yeah, Wilt has won, but Wilt brought us our first one in LA. You know what I mean? So, I mean, people really got to think about this shit, bro. But they know the fans don't think for themselves. And that's exactly why they paint these narratives the way they do, because they're trying to sell you something. I also want to add this. I thought about this while I was recording this. Notice how the media never talked about AD getting a statue, right? And they keep mentioning all these top 10 conversations with LeBron, top 10 Laker. They're forcing the conversation instead of letting him accomplish what he accomplishes and then talk about it naturally, right? But AD's never in these top Laker conversations, even though they got the same number of championships. And AD led them in a lot of categories, statistically, on the way to that championship. So there's a double standard. It's not about AD. LeBron is the star of the show. So I just want to add that in before I go to the next clip. Okay, so the human mind is a fascinating thing, right? And you're going to ask me, Kobe Bryant film room, what do you mean by that? This is what I mean by that. The human mind forgets what happened last week, the week before, 3 days ago, 24 hours ago, right? We're very forgetful when it comes to things that happen in the sequence of events, right? And this is the reason why repetition, right, is the mother of skill. right? So when you look at this clip that I'm about to show you, right? Just about a week ago, right? Close to 2 weeks ago, they were singing a different tune, right? And I'm gonna prove to y'all that they were singing a different tune. Now watch this, man. Watch what these dudes do. Listen to this shit, bro. Listen to this bullshit.
After having a technical rescinded to make him available, Anthony Edwards, how he got here is he dropped 43 points against the Jazz, which locked up Minnesota as the 6th seed after the Warriors lost to the Grizzlies in overtime. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, they didn't play in the final game with a variety of soreness, strains, sprains, but you don't have to worry about them in the first round probably against the Timberwolves. You would have to imagine that that's a little bit more rest and having locked up the 3 seed than anything else here. So the Lakers, they are the favorites in this series, but this is a series, Brian, where the
The Lakers are the what? The Lakers are the favorites in this series, right? They're favored. Look at the odds, right? This is the ESPN's Bet Sportsbook. Look at the odds, right? Plus 150 to the Lakers, minus 190.
stars are absolutely going to be out. Who do you think is going to have to show up in order to take their team over the top?
We saw Luka and what he did against the Timberwolves last year in the Western Conference Finals when he was a member of the Dallas Mavericks. He was dominant in that series, particularly Malika in the games in Minneapolis. He just dropped the dagger into those fans there. They tried a couple of different strategies against him. When Rudy Gobert was put out him on the switches, he just feasted on them. So we'll see if they change up their strategy facing him with a different Lakers team. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am very interested in just watching Ant Edwards try to carry his team from being the underdog here. Last year, and I know it was not against
the underdog here, right? So once again, there goes Brian Windhorst reinforcing what I said, right? What I just showed you. The underdog here. So the Timberwolves are the underdog. No matter how they try to reshape this narrative to the LeBron doesn't have enough shit again, right? This is a very evil thing these people are doing. Now it's back to LeBron doesn't have any help. Like, this is ridiculous.
the Lakers. I know that it was against the Mavericks. It was different. Ant had exhausted himself in that second round series against Denver. When they got to the series against Luka, and it was supposed to be mano a mano, potentially we thought it was going to be the next MVP of the league, he wasn't able to match with him. He wasn't able to go toe-to-toe. That will not be the case this time. They're both going to have the week off. I want to see Ant Edwards. I think the Lakers are favored too. I agree with that, with the bookmakers on that. I want to see Ant Edwards.
So here is Brian Windhorst agreeing with the bookmakers. So he's not sitting there talking about depth and size and JJ is this and JJ is that. He's not sitting there complaining about Luka or anything like that. He's saying that he agrees with the bookmakers.
Try to be the best player in this series.
You can't guard him the way you did last year. He led the league in threes this year, so he's not a one-trick pony just getting to the basket. He's an offensive guy that can get to it from all three levels. But what I will say about this, he has to be extremely explosive. We're talking about 35 to 40 points a game. Just for those guys to be in competition here. And he can do it. And he loves playing against the guys he used to watch and play video games. We saw what he did against KD last year. We're going to see how he goes against Bron.
On the surface, though, Ant gets double-teamed a lot. I'm very curious how JJ starts to scheme for Anthony Edwards because I think it's actually going to require a huge series out of Julius Randle.
Well, I'm never going to try to go head-to-head on X's and O's, but what I suspect the Lakers will look at, put LeBron on one of the weaker offensive players that the Wolves put out there, whether it's Rudy Gobert or whether it's Jaden McDaniels, so you can shoot the threes and let him roam. Whether that's to be a double-teamer or whether that's to do what he does so well, which is play help defense, that potentially could be a...
So LeBron being used as a help defender, right? Put him on a weak offensive player so he doesn't have to expend energy, so you can prolong him so he can rest, right? This is what they're saying. So when we repeat the same things, don't get mad at us because it's the truth.
Comfortable option for the Lakers who are trying to save LeBron's energy.
I mean, what can we expect out of LeBron James here? You know him as well, if not better than anyone.
It's on. This is it. You got Luka. You got the pieces you want. You didn't have a center. You got the coach you want. You got all the things that you want right now. This is going to be...
He's got all that. This is Udonis Haslem, his teammate, his ex-teammate. By the way, shout out to UD. This is nothing against UD, but all of this nigga's teammates are getting jobs, bro. All of them. On all of these countdown shows and all of these whatever. But like UD said, LeBron has everything that he wants, guys. Everything. So what the fuck is the problem?
The best version of LeBron James. He came into the second half of the season, he was rolling, took a couple days off because he was hurt, but the best version of LeBron James is coming right now. He understands what the expectations are when you bring a guy like Luka Doncic into your team, and he's wearing that Laker jersey.
Is it as wild to you as it is to me, Brian Windhorst, that this is the first time as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers that he's secured home court advantage?
He's never played a game one at Crypto.
Wow.
which is amazing. And obviously, the Lakers were one of the best home teams. I think the best home team in the West outside the Thunder. So that's not just a nice factoid. That's a significant factor.
But I will say this. Let's not forget.
So the best team at home, right? They're dominating at home, but they lost home court advantage. They lost game one, right? But they want you to believe that, oh, he didn't have a chance, and the Timberwolves are too deep, and all this stuff. They do this every year to you guys, bro, and y'all keep falling for this shit. How many years are you gonna fall for the same shit? This is on record. I'm not making this up. I got the film because people lie to me.
About Naz Reid. Let's not fight because they're going to switch those matchups. The Lakers are going to switch everything. Naz Reid is a guy who can exploit those switches. You can't just switch anybody on a Naz Reid and think
That's
that you're
right.
going to have a stop. Naz Reid is a guy who can exploit those switches. So if Naz Reid can get it going, give him a little bit of help, and the others just fill in the blanks, you have a chance to make this a 7-game series.
This is a prime time match.
And Naz Reid has showed up big time in the last game. But Naz Reid, overall, he wasn't really having that great of a game. But in the fourth quarter, he turned it up. So respect and shout out to Naz Reid. The last clip, this is going to be like the climax of the video right here, where I'm kind of just going to break everything down on why I did this video. It's because of the excuse making. It's because of the capping. It's because of the bullshit, the lying, the deceit, the deception, you know what I'm saying? The trickery, the just being dishonorable, disgraceful, any negative word you can put towards this is just straight up disrespectful to our brains that these people are trying to fool us yet again. They're trying to promote straight up bullshit that they know isn't true. And my thing is, how long are these production meetings and where they come up with this bullshit? Are they just gonna be like, hey, look, guys, we can just repeat the same shit that we said 3 months ago, or what? You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. Like, they got these narratives that, hey, every year we're just gonna recycle. We're gonna rinse, wash, repeat, right? So let's get into this last clip, man. I ain't gonna hold you too long.
Coach has ever played his starters all 24 minutes, literally every second of an entire half of a playoff game.
So you're saying not even Tibbs would do that?
Not even Tibbs would do it.
But look, with all of that said, they still...
By the way, real quick before he continues, JJ better watch his back. He's catching all the heat, even though everyone knows he's a first-year coach with no experience. And everyone knows the reason why he got the job is because of LeBron James, right? So we don't know how much power JJ actually has, with the minutes. Because I remember when Darvin Ham tried to sit LeBron down, LeBron threw a fit, right? And then next thing you know, Darvin Ham's out of there. So did JJ even have the authority to tell LeBron to sit down? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he doesn't, right? I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm just asking the question, so don't get mad at me. To the people watching this video crying, oh my God, no. Everybody's clutching their pearls nowadays, so sensitive niggas gonna come up in the comment section, oh my God, you said something. How can he be behind this? Oh. The titties start hurting, the vagina hurting, everything, but y'all get over it. Y'all will get over it. So let's continue that.
should have won the game. With all that said, they still should have won the game. It was right there. We just showed you the highlights. There were moments there
No
for
excuses.
them to win it, including the fact that Minnesota decided not to foul up 3, to allow a 3 in the corner, that if that goes down, you're going to overtime. Now, the fatigue factor could have factored in there.
Yeah, they're not winning overtime, though. No way.
Understood, Wendy. I get it. The extra 5 minutes wasn't going to benefit the Lakers, but the point is, the game was there to be won, despite all that. And J.J. Redick made it clear who he trusted and who he's going to go with and what felt like a must-win game for them. And this offseason is going to be for the Lakers, obviously. They're going to chase every big man they can find and bring somebody in that's over 6'8". That can
Damn, offseason? I thought the series ain't over. They can still come back. They can, put some pressure on the Wolves and win the next game on Wednesday,
help them at the center position.
I get that part of it, and I agree. And this goes back to, Wendy, I remember when this trade for Luka was made, the feeling here, you said it, many others said it, was this isn't the year that it's going to, sort of bear fruit. They still need another move.
You see these pieces of shit? You see what I'm talking about? I just showed you guys where the odds was in the Lakers' favor, and Wendy agreed with it. Wendy, you ain't got to do this to bro. Well, you probably do got to do this. But listen, man, I understand LeBron put you there, bro. But don't go out like this, bro. The man disrespecting you openly. You know what I'm saying? Act like he ain't really know you or fuck with you when we all know that you were cool with him. You know what I'm saying? You wrote for him for years, in a favorable manner, right? And I do agree that the only reason why you up there is because of LeBron. So you owe your career to him. But, bro, you got to, at the end of the day, bro, manhood is manhood, bro. You cannot be lying about shit like this, bro. You guys, do you realize y'all are on tape? And us YouTubers, we're going to start going back to the tape. I mean, I already have, but more people are going to start going to the tape, bro. Like, you guys are bad people. How you going to run this shit? 2 weeks ago, you were saying you got the Lakers. 2 weeks ago. But because people are so dumb And people are forgetful. I know some of you going to be offended by me calling niggas dumb. Niggas is dumb. Because if you're going to keep falling for the same shit, then you're dumb, right? You know, so, but anyways, like, this is bullshit. This is what makes Hellified Cap, bro. So for those who aren't familiar with Hellified Cap, what I do is I find the videos where the media is, or anybody is just unbelievably capping, right? To the point where it's just disgusting. It's just comedic. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you want to just cry laughing because this is some hypocritical, you know, bullshit, right? Just straight lying, bro.
Or two, and that's what we're talking about. That said, they're in this playoff series.
Let me rewind that for you. Let's go back.
This isn't the year that it's going to, sort of bear fruit. They still need another move or two, and that's what we're talking about. That said, they're...
You see that? He wasn't saying this shit. Wendy was not saying this shit before the series started.
In this playoff series, they've been in the games that they lost. I mean, they had every opportunity, certainly, to win games 3 and 4 on the road. Do you still feel like they have a chance to come back and survive this series against a very, very good Minnesota team?
I mean, I would never vote against Luka or LeBron doing this. I would just point out they get 2 days off now, and the game 5 is on Wednesday, but then it's Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, with travel to and from Minneapolis in there. So you're asking them an incredible amount with no depth. I mean, in the fourth quarter, again, of these last 2 games,
now they have no depth. Finney-Smith has been playing well. Gabe Vincent been playing well. Vanderbilt's been kind of harassing people on defense. You have Dalton Connect. You're not even playing him, right? You have no depth. None? No depth. They don't say this about the Warriors. They don't say this about the Warriors with Steph Curry. They don't make up these narratives about nobody else, bro. This shit's crazy.
Wolves have outscored them in the paint 20-4. They have no depth. They have no size. They need their 3 starters to be brilliant.
Let's go back.
Wolves have outscored them in the paint 20-4. They have no depth. They have no size. They need their...
So you trade Anthony Davis and then complain about rim protection. Oh my God. You have no size because you wanted to go small. What did Stephen A say? JJ wanted to put LeBron at the 4. Remember when they were disrespecting AD and having a field day, right? They said, let's put LeBron at the 4. It's better off for LeBron to be at the 4. That way, everything's spaced out. But then they want to cry and complain when he has to actually guard 4s. He actually has to go down there and rebound and battle with bigs. This shit doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. It does not. Nobody can convince me. Hey, anybody who comes to this comment section, bro, complaining about what I'm saying, shut up. Shut your ass up, nigga.
Starters to be brilliant. They basically need their 3-star players to be 3 of the best 4 players in the series. That just has not happened. It could happen over these next 3 games, but the margin for error is non-existent.
So let me get this straight. You're talking about they too deep. Anthony Edwards is the only superstar on his team, right? And he just became a superstar. LeBron James was an MVP candidate. That's what y'all were claiming. And that he's defeating Father Time, right? Now Father Time's kicking his ass whenever it's convenient. But he's defeating Father Time. he's got Luka, right? Luka's another superstar. So therefore you have 2 superstars, right? Some guys were saying LeBron is a top 5 player, a top 7 player, all this shit, right? So now you get Luka, who's considered the top 3 player, 2-3 player, one of the best scorers. Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he came to the Lakers was, he's 30-5. He first player since Kareem to do this and that. Right? Then you have Austin Reeves, who Stephen A. Smith was trying to praise as that 3rd guy. Right? All these dudes was praising that 3rd guy who could be another superstar who was on the way up, shooting like damn near 40% from 3. You got Finney-Smith. You got Gabe Vincent, who was on the Miami Heat, who went to the fucking NBA Finals with the Heat, as a key contributor. You've got multiple role players who y'all said they were the favorites. What happened? What happened? What happened is these games were close and the Lakers could not close. It's on LeBron, it's on Luka, and it's on JJ Redick. Now the series is not over, right? And I'm not going to act like the series is over because job not done. Job finished? No, job not done, right? The job's not done until it's 4-1, right? The job's not done yet. So the Timberwolves still have to go out there and win. The Lakers can turn this all around. But what I'm just trying to show you is they're being hypocritical. They're being jackasses, bro. They're literally lying out their teeth to their face. Because, listen, you don't have to trust these guys because they wear suits. You don't, bro. You don't. Use your brain when you're watching these people. Don't just accept information. Like, this is ridiculous, but yo, this is the Kobe Bryant film room, man. I gotta get out of here. I exposed these niggas, dog. But this is the Kobe Bryant film room. Hellified Cap. I'm out. Peace. Peace.
That's right.